Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to give you my soil wicking recipe. So get your dishes out in your pots and pans and get ready to start mixing. Welcome to Rainy's Kitchen. I should do a cooking channel. So what is wicking? Well, people like to grow in grow bags. And if you've seen my Dutch bucket system, my Alaska bucket system, the systems that I've done different years in those kiddie pools and all these different systems I've done, I do what they call a wicking system. I put the soil that I make with this recipe into the grow bags. And here's a question I always get is, well, aren't your grow bags going to get flooded? You know, if you have them sitting in water, aren't you going to drown your plants? And no, if you get the right recipe, the plants will only take in what they need, and they could be sitting in water but not drown, not get drenched. They're just taking what they need. The water's at a certain level, and usually it'll go out the overflow or flow into other systems, whatever you decide to do. So here's the system. You get your grow bag, okay, and you're going to fill it most of the way up with this kind of soil so it can wick up the amount of water you need and not take too much. Are you ready? Get out your pens. I have this written down so I can go to the grocery store and get what I want. Now, usually when I do this, I mix a lot of it. So instead of using a measuring cup, okay, my measuring cups are going to be 5-gallon buckets. That's what I mix it all with, okay? So to start out with, what I want you to get is 2 5-gallon buckets of peat moss. Now, you might have bought some of those big blocks of peat moss, okay? What I usually do is just take all the peat moss and the soil and the manure, whatever I'm going to have, and I just dump it out on the ground, or actually I dump it in my kiddie pools, so that way I don't have too much of a mess, okay? And I'll take 2 5-gallon buckets, and I'll put them in an empty pool or on a tarp, wherever you can mix the stuff afterwards. So 2 5-gallon buckets of peat moss is number one. Then you get 1 5-gallon bucket of cow manure. That's right, poop, the good stuff, okay? Or compost or worm castings. There's a lot of different things that you can use, okay? You can be creative with this. The plants don't care, all right? Then 1.5 cups, not barrels on this one, cups of garden lime. Okay, lime. You can get all this stuff right at Walmart or Home Depot or any of your package stores. Now, 1/4 bucket, 5-gallon bucket of perlite. Okay, perlite are those little white, they look like little white styrofoam things. They help to aerate the soil and get the water flowing through. A handful, that's a good pinch, okay, a handful of Epsom salt. You can get that at Walmart also. And sometimes, depending on what I have, I kind of have a lot of stuff hanging around. I'll add maybe some blood meal or other things I might have to raise calcium or potassium levels a bit in the soil. So, like I said, whatever you have, you can use. Now, the idea is, like I mentioned earlier, is that the soil has to have, or the mix has to have enough peat moss in it to absorb or wick up the water, and it needs to be able to wick it all the way to the top so it gets to the plants and the roots, okay, from the bottom. So at least, I'd say 60 to 75% of your mix is going to be peat moss. You're going to say, wow, when you pick up your 5-gallon bucket, whatever you're using, you're going to say, or 5-gallon grow bag, you're going to say, this is light, because when it's filled with soil, it's pretty heavy. When it has, 3/4 peat moss, you could lift that thing over your head with one hand just about. But don't worry, that's how it works. So the peat moss, or you can use a lot, pretty much what you have lying around the house. I mean, sometimes, or lying around outside, sometimes I'll use regular gardening soil if I have to. I'll mix that in with the manure, okay? But don't worry, the manure isn't going to burn everything out because you're mixing it. You're diffusing it with the peat moss. And doing this, your veggies are going to love it. So fill it up with that. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to be pretty dry. So if you just put that in your water, I usually keep about 1.5 inches of water in the bottom of my pool or bucket, whatever I'm putting this thing in. Okay. When you put it in there, don't expect it to just wick up right away. It's not going to. It's really dry. So you need to give it a head start. So what I do, the reason I mix it together in a kiddie pool, or actually sometimes I use, those little sleds for ice fishing cargo sled. You put all your stuff in there and you could pull it through the snow. They're about yay tall. I put everything in there, and then I put a lot of water and I mix it like a big stew. Okay, it's gonna take 2 hands, or you can get right in there, get that manure right up to your elbows. It's a riot. It's really fun. Then you go up to your wife and give her a big hug and kiss. And well, actually, probably shouldn't do that if you want to have dinner that day. She's yelling over there, going, "Oh, that's why he does it." So, anyways, mix it up good and get it really wet. Then put it in your grow bag. Now, when you put the grow bag in the water, okay, you think it's going to keep on soaking. Actually, you're probably going to get dirty water because that grow bag is going to be wet already, and a lot of the excess is going to drain out. But now you have it wicked. You have it started. Okay, it's almost like you siphoned it up. You can even, if you're not sure if there's enough water, once you have it in the grow bag, just fill it with water and mush it around. I don't care if it comes out like mud. It is going to settle and drain out through the bag. So you're not going to have too much. Now, keep in mind, if you filled the thing up with liquid and as it drained out, even though you have it filled this far from the top, once it drains out, you have it so wet, you're probably going to need to fill. It's going to go down to here, the soil. So instead of having it all the way up to maybe 2 inches from the top, it's going to settle down to 5 or 6 inches. So you're going to probably have to grab more and put it in, grab more and put it in. So once you've done that, just put your plants in and you're good to go. Now, the only thing you got to do is make sure that the water on the outside of the bucket. So if you have it in a swimming pool with like 5 or 6 of these grow bags, make sure the water in the swimming pool stays at a constant level of 1.5 inches. That way the water can continue to drain up. The plants can take whatever they want, and you're not going to have to keep on watching. Just keep that water level. You'll see in some of my plans, I actually have free plans on one of my web pages that you can get if you go to the links below the video, and it shows how I put a float in there sometimes to automatically do it. And I fill these big, I don't want to get too much into it, but these big buckets with water. So I only have to come water my plants maybe once every 2 weeks. Okay. But those are all in different videos that you'll find on my site. So that's my recipe. Once again, let me go through the recipe so you know what it is. I'm going to read it fast so you don't miss anything. All right. So you have your 5-gallon measuring buckets. You need 2 5-gallon buckets of peat moss, 1 5-gallon bucket of manure, 1.5 cups of garden lime, 1/4 5-gallon bucket of perlite, a handful of Epsom salt, and sometimes you can mix in, if you have it, some blood meal or they have different kinds of meal. Bone meal is another one you can use, or anything that raises the calcium or potassium levels a little bit. You don't need a lot of that. I probably do like maybe a cup or so per 5-gallon bucket. And that's pretty much it. Get it nice and wet. Mix it up, and you should have a really great wicking soil. Now, I just did a video before this one, okay, talking about air pruning. Go ahead and look at that, and you'll see how even in a 5-gallon bucket with this kind of a soil, okay, a 5-gallon grow bag, I should say, you can grow pretty much anything. I've grown corn on the cob, watermelon, squash, huge, like 6-foot tall tomato plants, just from a little bag, because with air pruning, you never get root bound. So I hope that helps with your recipe and to get your plants growing big and tall. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.